Historically, will has been the providence of the very powerful, money-wise, the kings, the politicians, the religious people, the popes and the bishops. And even in tribal life, the shaman or the chief, he's the guy that has all the authority. He's the person that is allowed to be willful. You can even see this in the animal kingdom. You know, the strongest mare will boss all the other mares around, and then the stallion will boss her around. In the wolf kingdom, the wolf families, there's always the dominant animal in the dominant wolf. There's dominant animals in almost all the animal kingdom. And perhaps that is why humans act this way as well. And, since medieval times anyway, it's about money. And even in tribal life, you can even go to any kind of like American Indian tribes anyway, and the person that had the most wherewithal to give away, to feed people, to welcome people into their abode, these were the willful, powerful ones that people came and asked advice of or looked up to. And today we see a very interesting thing going on in that the traditional roles, particularly in the West, the roles between the sexes are kind of breaking down. The roles that we see of power structures seem to be weakening. People don't seem to have as much confidence in their government, and that we are questioning so much of what it is to be willful and powerful. I personally feel, and this is true in the animal kingdom, that the strong are the willful ones. Now, we are beyond that in the human realm, unless you're like living in the criminal world. In the criminal world, the strong guy, the badass, he is going to be the willful one and tell everybody else what to do. But in our society, still, it is the people with money, the people with wherewithal, the people with strategic positions in business and religion that have the say-so, that are the willful ones. But I see a change starting to happen. And I feel that what will really is a window or a image of vitality. It shows, when you're willful, it shows that you have a certain amount of vitality. We can see this in teenagers or young children. They have a lot of vitality and they're very willful. And we spend a lot of time breaking the will of children, which is ironic, isn't it? Because then we get older and then we want to express our will, and then all of a sudden it's about money. It's not about money. It cannot be about money. And you see a lot of broken people with money that are still able to express their will because of money. But that is not real willpower. Real will comes from vitality. And vitality, we can get vitality in two ways. We can get it through the food that we eat, and we can get it through breathing. You can get it through herbs as well. There's certain herbs that build up vitality, of course. And modern Western medicine with things like hormonal replacement or HGH and human growth hormone, you can certainly get a degree of vitality from those things. And we're all familiar with the false vitality of stimulants like, caffeine or amphetamines or energy drinks, but that is not vitality. That is more, just a buzz. That's draining your vitality. Real vitality that comes from the breath, that comes from practices such as Qi Gong, in particular solar Qi Gong, where you learn to develop lots of energy and know how to manipulate that energy, know how to project that energy. That is real willpower. The ability to project your energy to other people is how you manifest will in an undeniable way. Criminal types and big, strong people, you know, that are actually physically strong, they understand that. Beautiful women or crafty women, you know, sexy women, they certainly understand that. Salespeople and politicians understand this. They definitely know how to project their will. You project your will to close the sale. You project your will to bring influence from others so your agenda can be put forth. You project your will to be attractive. You project your will to bring lovers to you, to bring people that you want to influence towards you, is all from a projection of will. If we can get to the science of projecting will, we can start to develop willpower in a way that is not just dynamic, but incredibly useful. Solar Qigong in particular is about internal energy circulations and tracking these internal energy circulations that we capture from the breath, and then start to move them with our mind. And as you move energy with your mind, you start to look at the whole world in terms of energy, seeing the world in terms of energy. Then having the ability to project that energy will bring not just willpower, but an unfair advantage in ways that you can actually influence the way things are going to work out for you. You can influence others. You can project your will to other people and get them to do what you want them to do. I mean, it's not like you're going to have, you know, people on a string or something like that. But depending on how much energy you put into it, you can influence a lot of things. This is how things like voodoo work, or Ifa, or Santeria, where they use the energy of an animal, they sacrifice an animal, and then take that energy with their mind and make things happen. We can do this in a much more dynamic way through practice. As you practice to learn how to move energy in your own body, then learn how to project it out of your body, out of your hand, out of your third eye, out of your heart, projecting that out to the world. Projecting energy out to the universe, you know, impregnating the universe with your energy and the things that you want. When you project your energy out and it's tied to your desires, those desires are going to come back to you faster. Now, this is not like magic at all, and it's not like, oh, you just do it once and it starts to happen. You can just do it over and over and over. Every day you project out to the things that you want. You build energy up through practice, you project it out towards the things that you want, and they will come to you. They'll come to you relative to your ability to focus on it, relative to your ability to be patient enough to wait for it to happen and not give up. This is the idea behind, you know, manifestation, behind the Think and Grow Rich, like Napoleon Hill came up with, and many people since then, and many people prior to that. Jesus the Christ said, if ye had the faith of a mustard seed, you could move mountains. This is what he was talking about. We can actually make things happen with our will, with our vitality. But it's not wishful thinking. Wishful thinking is something entirely different. Wishful thinking is something that weak people do. No, I'm talking about intention. Having intention and putting your vitality behind that intention and having a very focused direction for your intention, and then the hard work of doing it until it finally comes to you. There's practices in Solar Qigong where we learn concrete ways to project our energy out of our hand, out of our third eye, out of the top of our head. And with these projections, we tie our intention to them, and the things that we want will come to us. I urge you to go to solarqigong.com, practice Qigong for a while, and see if I'm not right.